Welcome to Lariat TV News. This week, we're bringing you a student-made luxury clothing brand founded right on campus. I'm Abby Ferguson.
And I'm Giera Cottingham. Before we feature those students, a 50-year-old tradition is bringing an unlikely group together.
This beloved Waco tradition is inviting students at Baylor to come out and take a spin with some seniors. Caitlin Sides brings us the heartwarming details on the Boot, Scoot, and Boogie.
This is a tradition truly like no other and celebrates and invites all ages to come out and dance. Sol Ross Boot, Scoot, and Dance Club has been taking place in Waco for almost 50 years and used to be a 55-year-old and up dance club. But now they're welcoming Baylor students with open arms.
And we really like the idea of being kind of multi-generational. The young can learn from the old, and certainly us older people can learn some new things from the younger generation.
The dance club runs from 7 to 9:15 p.m. every Thursday and has a rotation of country western live bands. There's an admission fee of $6 and dances ranging from two-step to line dancing.
We think the club needs to exist for people that want to go someplace and have fun on Thursday night.
My late husband and I came here every week and loved it. He taught me to dance when we met.
To some, it's about coming out and having fun, and to others, it's more about celebrations and getting to interact with new and old friends.
Just meeting people and then seeing the faces, and when they're excited to see you, it's nice. Ken, we missed you.
Yeah.
Well, it's just nice. You feel it's everybody's friends here. So
You feel like you're at home.
Everyone is welcome, and the Boot, Scoot, and Boogie doesn't plan on stopping this dance party anytime soon. For Lariat TV News, I'm Caitlin Sides.
The Pre-Health Club Music and Memory at Baylor recently implemented a personalized playlist for the residents they visit at the Living Springs Village Retirement Home. The club gathers every Sunday to share music with these patients, and this new edition has students work with residents to put together their favorite familiar tunes. Etienne says curing Alzheimer's is one of his goals in becoming a neurosurgeon, but his love for music ultimately inspired him to join the organization. He says it is the profound impact of music that brings those patients to life.
It takes a while before they actually sing along, but when they do, you'd actually be happy, you'll be amazed, you'll be inspired. For me, it's always a very nice opportunity to go there and just listen to what I love most, which is music. So seeing them listen to music is nice.
Women's History Month is coming to a close, but one celebration brought both Baylor women and men together to honor those who paved the way before them. LTVN's Danica Young has the story.
If we really want to make change in our modern society, we have to first go back and understand how we got here.
Wednesday, men and women across campus gathered together to celebrate and learn about women throughout history.
Women's History Month is near and dear to my heart, but I think for me, women's history is about more than just the firsts, and it's about more than just rights and things gained and things lost. It's about women who surround us in everyday life.
The event featured 6 speakers from Baylor's history department, and each with their own story to tell.
It's a great time to remember the breadth of women's contributions as historians, their contributions as figures in history, to tell lots of different stories about lots of different women. That's what I like.
The speakers encouraged Baylor students to make their own history and remember those who paved the way before them.
Just being here, that they're making history. They're making women's history, and that many women throughout our nation's history and other places in the world have fought for the right to be here and to have an education, and that they should make the most of it.
For Lariat TV News, I'm Danica Young.
Last time we talked to her, pageant queen and Baylor student Austin Douglas was helping local pediatric cancer patients. Now she's benefiting a different cause. Abby Ferguson tells you how.
She wears a crown on her head, but her heart is what truly shines. Last time LTVN spoke to her, Baylor student and pageant queen Austin Douglas was preparing for International Childhood Cancer Day. Her proclamation to recognize the day passed in the city of Waco on February 6th.
I was really grateful because a lot of local patients and childhood cancer families actually came out in support and were able to receive the proclamation and take it to hopefully get it put up in a local children's hospital.
Now she's gone from City Hall to a jewelry store. before she takes the stage for Miss Texas in June, she's doing another philanthropy effort, but this time a little bit different than the last one. Texas Cares for Children, the Miss Texas 501c nonprofit, works to educate underprivileged children in state schools. In an effort to support Texas Cares for Children, Austin partnered with Kendra Scott Waco.
So I really love the things that Kendra Scott stands for as a brand and the organizations that partner with. So I was able to do this give back event with them because they primarily do fundraising with other women's and children's charities, which kind of aligns with a lot of the Miss Texas values as well.
To raise money for the cause, 20% of store sales went towards Texas Cares for Children. On top of that, for online shoppers, Kendra Scott also offered a promotional code with the same benefits.
I really didn't know much about Texas Cares for Children, but then she came in and kind of told me a little bit more about what they do, and yeah, it's amazing. I love doing stuff with philanthropies like this all the time. So,
as she gears up to take the stage in June, Austin continues to prioritize local service and the Texas community.
I'm just so proud of her, just all of her hard work that she's put in to everything, and I mean the countless hours of just prep. She's just such a hard worker, and so it makes me so proud to be her friend.
Through the partnership with Kendra Scott, Austin successfully completed her fundraising goal. For Lariat TV News, I'm Abby Ferguson.
The brothers of Alpha Tau Omega decided to swap their shirts for suds at their car wash Thursday in support of their philanthropy. As part of ATO's Viking Week, the car wash aimed to raise money for CoHope, a nonprofit designed to help children while providing families with tools to promote education, health, and overall well-being. All it took was sponges, hoses, and a couple cars for the fraternity to show how much they really care.
So CoHope is our philanthropy that we do. It's from one of our members who passed away in 2016 from a seizure, and his mom, Beth, helped start a nonprofit, and we financially support them in everything that they do, and we truly, it's near and dear to our heart.
A new Baylor clothing brand is making waves across campus. Claire Goodyear shows us how 3 freshmen's big idea was sparked in a small dorm room.
Male dorm rooms stereotypically contain gaming systems and dirty laundry. These Baylor freshmen have a sewing machine.
Fina Street was born right here in this dorm room. We are a collegiate clothing brand. We create apparel that's modern, that's in tune with the trends. It all started right here.
After not finding any Baylor merch they wanted in stores, the boys decided to take matters into their own hands.
We had seen a hole in the collegiate apparel industry. We really wanted to create a brand that appeals to more of that modern style that we were looking for, really.
And it's a true freshman operation.
We would have the garments shipped straight to the Baylor mailroom. They would always be upset with us having huge packages that were like 4 or 5 feet tall and cardboard boxes come in. We'd bring it straight up to the dorm room and spend endless nights embroidering and embellishing the garments.
The specific style they imagined inspired the brand name.
Fino is Spanish for luxury, and street stands for streetwear. So we have that luxury element, but also the comfort and everyday wearability of streetwear. And that's really where our name came from and really where the idea started.
And it's not just the trio anymore. Fino Street now contains 19 students from 19 different Baylor programs.
The apparel and design program, they don't really communicate with the business students. And looking at the photography students, they had never talked to anyone in marketing. So what we wanted to do with this brand is bring everyone together.
They started out as 3 guys with 1 sewing machine in a Penland dorm room, and although they've expanded slightly, their motto still stands. Built by college students for college students. For Lariat TV News, I'm Claire Goodyear.
We've covered allegations of worms in Baylor's food before, and they turned out to be false.
Up next, we're squashing a rumor again in the Baylor dining halls.
A month ago, a post on a Baylor parents' Facebook page claimed to show worms in the food at Panda Express. Baylor investigated, and that rumor was proven false. Now, there's been another allegation, and LTVN's Maisie Krause tells us what she learned.
This week on Yik Yak, students raised concerns about bugs found in Baylor dining hall food. Once again, the school's food vendor Aramark said they investigated and found no worms. They said they were looking into the possibility those images on social media were fake, and that sparked questions and allegations.
I feel like it's fake, honestly.
Some advertising major got really bored and decided to Photoshop.
Yeah,
Photoshop could be it
too.
It might be a joke to some, but for others, it's real life because eating at the dining halls is their most convenient option. Upon investigating the photos with software, Baylor lecturer of photography Andrew Church says anonymity may be a superpower and means of communication. While a look at the image data reveals very little about the authenticities of the photos, the images may yet be fake or inauthentic inasmuch as if the insects were actually on or in the food.
I will see it at Finland, unless I see it for myself, but I'm going to be a little more cautious probably. That's going to put me on edge for sure. Definitely makes me feel uneasy, that's for sure. I'm going to be a little more aware, a little more hesitant for sure.
Aramark also encouraged students to report anything suspicious to dining hall personnel on the spot during meals. They stressed student safety is a primary concern. For Lariat TV News, I'm Macy Krause.
While it focuses on remembering the past, the Mayborn Museum is tackling its future. The museum has broken ground on their newest renovation plans. Construction is underway at the entrance of the new museum for new, life-size bronze mammoth statues. The Mayborn says the statues are set to be on display in May, and they will set the museum apart from others.
These bronze mammoths are actually being created by a very famous sculptor named Tom Tischler. We did an extensive search here at the Mayborn for a really good sculptor, and we ultimately went with Tom Tischler. He's world-renowned, so we're really excited to be working with him. These mammoths are actually scientifically accurate, so we used scales from the Waco Mammoth site actually to build these mammoths.
Currently located in the Bobo Spiritual Life Center, Baylor Baptist Student Ministries will be getting a new home. LTVN's Jared Cottingham has the details.
It'd be an easy space to bring people who are questioning and can be in Christian community but not necessarily having to step fully into a church building yet.
Growing, meeting, and connecting students is BSM's goal for their upcoming building. It will be located on 4th and Daughtry with new, unique additions.
A coffee shop, pickleball court, a space that will have ping pong tables.
It's a big piece of land.
The much larger space will help BSM's growing sectors such as Pathway, their freshman discipleship program.
We're maxing out all the chairs.
We just started our Pathway leader training this Sunday, and we had to use every single chair in the Bobo.
On-campus ministries and Waco churches can also fill the space, creating convenience for students.
If different churches want to do different trainings, instead of students trying to find a ride to the church, they can just walk right over. We really want it to be an open space for anyone and everyone.
The ministry is currently accepting donations toward the building's construction at BaylorBSM.com.
The most productive thing we can do is pray, and we've been doing that for 5 or 6 years now, and it's changed our ministry.
As we're praying, it's Lord, thank you for all the ministry that you've done so far. We don't need a building to do what you want us to do and are calling us to do.
And although there is no exact date for the finish of the BSM building, through prayer and by God's will, the BSM building will be completed by fall of 2026. Until then, this building has served them well and will continue to do so. For Lariat TV News, I'm Jared Cottingham. That's not the only move about to take place. Baylor's Office of Access and Learning Accommodations is relocating downstairs, and students are sharing their opinions. Earlier this week, it was announced Ola will be moving to the basement of Sid Richardson. Baylor spokesperson Lori Fogelman said the space in the basement is over 300 square feet larger than Ola's current space. The new office will contain 5 more testing rooms, increasing the total number of rooms from 22 to 27. Many students have expressed their opinions on this change, and regardless of the increase in space, some are simply disappointed.
We love Ola, and I think that Ola is really doing the best that they can, and I don't really hold any of this to Ola, but it is definitely disappointing, and I have a lot of concerns, not just for how it looks on the outside, but the reality of the issue at hand.
Consistency is key for Baylor's rock climbing team, and they're looking for some new members. 2 free practices are ready and available for any students interested in joining the club. It is a laid-back, judgment-free space Even if you are afraid of heights, you can reach a new level.
Nice place to make friends, get stronger. You also can learn a lot about like outside climbing, and Baylor has a lot of like clinics that they offer. Like you can learn how to rappel, learn how to outside climb, which are skills that you can apply post Baylor.
At the Slick, the team meets on Mondays and Wednesdays from 6 to 8 p.m. Clinic schedules can also be found on the Rocks website.
Baylor men's and women's basketball are in the big dance.
And acrobatics and tumbling is staying undefeated.
Let there be light. Let there be roommates and teammates and strangers who become family. Let there be marching and cheering. Let there be challenging courses and time to share. Scholarship and championships. Let there be groundbreaking and soul-searching. Let there be laughter. Let there be joy. Let there be light.
After losing in the second round of March Madness 2 years in a row, men's basketball is looking to make a deep run in this season's tournament. The Bears are the 3rd seed in the Western region and the 9th seed overall. Their tournament opener is Friday morning against 14 seed Colgate. This is the first time Baylor and Colgate have ever played each other, and Baylor is 2-2 all time against teams from the Patriot League, which Colgate has won 4 straight years. Colgate is among the best teams in the country when it comes to defending against the 3-ball, holding their opponents to just 29.9% from beyond the arc. This is their 7th tournament appearance, however, they have yet to win a postseason game. The Bears will be without sophomore guard Langston Love, who's dealing with an ankle injury. And the 5th-seeded women's basketball team is opening the NCAA tournament versus Vanderbilt Friday as well. This is the Bears' 20th straight appearance in the NCAA Big Dance, and they're also facing a first-time ever foe. Baylor ranks 8th nationally and 1st in the Big 12 defending three-pointers, holding opponents to only 26.1% of shots made behind the arc. Vanderbilt's win over Columbia this year in the first 4 games is their first March Madness win in 11 years. The Bears shouldn't shrug off the Commodores, though, as they beat Iowa State this season, a team that Baylor lost to twice.
You know, when push comes to shove, a big part of our success is going to be making shots. You know, when you look at what we did against Alabama last year and competing with UConn for 2.5 quarters, we put the ball in the basket. And I think, you know, when you look at the analytics from our success early in the season, you know, maybe our numbers were a little inflated, maybe we were a little crazy in terms of how well we were shooting the basketball, but there's got to be a happy medium.
The Bears are 55-18 in the NCAA tournament with 3 national championships, 4 Final Four appearances, and 10 trips to the Elite 8. In their last home meet of the season, acrobatics and tumbling made their mark with a historic win. Claire Marie Scott tells us what made this victory on the mat so special.
Number 1 acrobatics and tumbling took down 4th-ranked Gannon in their closest meet of the season Saturday night. This wasn't just any win for the Bears, as this marked Coach Felicia Mulkey's 90th win at Baylor. The Bears beat Gannon in the compulsory acro, tumbling, team, and toss events.
It felt great. I mean, honestly, like you said, toss is our weakest part, I think. So being able to just come in and really focus on the details this last week just felt awesome. I mean, it felt like we won the meet right then and there when we won toss event.
Even though this is Baylor's 33rd straight win dating back to March 27, 2021, Mulkey still thinks there are ways the team can improve.
We got a W in the win column, but there was a meet this year that we didn't feel like we won. And we're proud of this meet, but we haven't peaked. We haven't done what we want to do yet during a meet. So I appreciate the fact that we've got 33 wins, but we're still not where we need to be.
Seniors were celebrated following the team event, but the Bears aren't looking to get too emotional yet.
We just have a lot of season left, and no one really realizes that Natty is like 3 meets together, so that's like 6 more meets left of the season. So we're just trying to keep our foot on the gas and not get too caught up in things being the last.
Acro is on the road for the rest of the season and will be facing Augustana March 23rd as they continue to have their eyes set on a 9th national championship. For Lariat TV News, I'm Claire Marie Scott.
19th ranked Baylor softball dominated Houston Christian in a run-ruled match Tuesday night. After Houston Christian scored 1 run in the first, the Bears responded by tying the game before getting 6 more runs in the bottom of the second. Shaylin Govin had a season-high 4 RBI and a homer with 2 walks. Casey West tied her season-high of 6 strikeouts, improving her record to 3-1. After 7 more runs came across the plate for Baylor in the bottom of the 4th, Houston Christian plated 3, but it wasn't enough with the game being called right there.
Yeah, just to get our confidence, get it going back again. And I feel like, sticking together as a team going into this, like we have, no pressure for us as we just go in and continue to fight and get better each game.
The Bears will be on the road to face their toughest opponent yet this weekend, number 1 ranked Oklahoma in Norman and Oklahoma City. And baseball heads to Austin this weekend for one final Big 12 matchup with the Texas Longhorns. The Bears will be looking for another huge series win after taking 2 games against Texas Tech last weekend.
Over the weekend, Baylor baseball beat number 23 Texas Tech 2-1, with the final game being a decisive 7-2 victory for the Bears. This was the Bears' 3rd Big 12 series win in 2 seasons and the first over a top 25 team under second-year head coach Mitch Thompson.
Especially to win a series in conference play against an opponent of their caliber that's ranked. It's huge for us. It's great. It's been really good to win a couple games this week, a few games, and we need to be looking forward to next week and keep it going for sure.
The Friday night game was a 2-0 Texas Tech victory despite solid outings from starting pitcher Mason Marriott in the Baylor bullpen.
Losing 2-0 ball games isn't any good. We did enough to pitch. We did enough on defense. We gotta figure out how to get this offense going a little bit.
The Saturday game was postponed to Sunday afternoon after a 2-hour rain delay in the 4th inning. Prior to the game's suspension, though, the Bears were rolling up 5-0 due in large part to a 476-foot 2-run bomb from junior outfielder Wesley Jordan. When play resumed on Sunday, Tech was able to bring 1 run home, but the Bears were able to tie the series at 5-1.
With rain delays, you can't stay locked in the whole time, because if you're staying locked in for 6-7 hours, you're going to be mentally drained. So you got to relax, but then as soon as they tell you we're about to get going, you get locked back in really quick.
Baseball is on the road for all of this week, going to Sam Houston on Tuesday night and making the trip to Austin for the 3-game series this weekend to play Texas. For Lariat TV News, I'm Braden Murray.
And that's all for sports. Be on the lookout this weekend for Lariat team coverage of the Bears tournament games straight from Memphis. Back to you, ladies.
And that wraps it up for Lariat TV News. Be sure to keep up with us for the latest news on campus and around Waco.
We'll see you next week on Wednesday before Easter break. Until then, as always, have a great week and sic 'em Bears.